Okay, so let's start our first pseudocode. So to start off, we're going to start with just a basic rectangle to get a hold of everything. Now I'm going to do each side in a different color just so that we can tell our functions apart when we start. So we're going to start where the star is. Okay, so now looking at where we're starting, which is the blue line right here, this is going to be function number 1. And so we look at this and we're like, okay, which way do we need to go in order to get to that green line? Well, if we look back at our protractor, we need to move 0 degrees, which is up. So let's just write that down real fast. Cool. So now we move to our second function, which is the green one. And we're like, okay, so we're gonna have to move 90 degrees, right? And that'll get us to the yellow line, which is also moving to the right. Now we're at our yellow line, which is right here. So like, look at this and we're like, okay, we're working with a rectangle. So we know that the blue function is gonna be the same as the yellow function, just with a different degree angle. So we need to move down, which is 180. And let's just like make a note that these two functions are the same. Cool, so now we're at our last function, which is this red guy right here. And to move to the left, which is what we're gonna have to do, we have to move 270 degrees. And because we're working with a rectangle, we know that this function is the same as that function. So let's just make a note of that as well. And so that ends our pseudocoding process for this shape. Okay, so let's try a different shape now. One more like what you might see in today's lab. Okay, so starting with the blue function, we'll start from right here. We have to move up, right? So move up is 0 degrees, right? And now we have to go to the green function, which is moving to the right. And we know that moving to the right is the equivalent of traveling at 90 degrees. Now we're looking at the yellow function, and we have to move up again. So since it's the same as before, we know it's going to be 0 degrees again. And now at the red function, we have to move to the right again, which is moving 90 degrees. Now let's just say that all these stairs right here, or I guess the stair shapes, are all the same length. So from the rectangle before, we knew that the two sides were going to match in their parameters. So just like that, all of our functions that we just pseudocoded will match. So the speed and the time will match. The degrees will just be different for these two functions. Now it's time to see if you can do it yourself. Go ahead and see if you can figure out the pseudocode for the shape on the screen. Okay, so by now you should have the pseudo code that's seen on the screen enclosed in black. If you didn't have it, that's okay. We're gonna have more practice. If you didn't get it, awesome. You're ready to go.